Hello and welcome back to another episode on my Datapack tutorial series. In the last episode, we talked about an intro to Datapacks as well as the folder hierarchy for them, what they do, and what the episode breakdown is going to be for this series. Today, I would like to talk to you about recipes and recipe creation. And recipes can take on many forms in Minecraft. There is the crafting bench, the stonecutter, the smithing table, the furnace, smoker, blast furnace, and the campfires. And all of these have their own recipe setup in our Datapack files. All recipe files in Minecraft are JSON files that you can open by right-clicking and choosing Open with Code if you're using Visual Studio Code. Otherwise, you can open with like a standard notepad, that'll work too. I'm going to use Open with Code though. This will open up the file for our recipe, and you can see how it's structured here. This is just the standard crafting recipe for an acacia boat. And some of the things we're going to be covering today are the type of recipe. We're going to cover groups, patterns, keys or ingredients, items, and results. Another thing we're going to cover today is something called tags, as well as being able to swap out different items to get the same result. For example, using cobblestone and moss blocks to get mossy cobblestone, as well as using cobblestone and vines to get mossy cobblestone. So without further ado, let's go ahead and set up our data pack. We're going to hit escape. We're going to go to options, resource packs, and choose open pack folder. And that's going to open up our resource packs folder. We're going to go back one level to .minecraft, go to our saves, find our Datapack world that we're working in. We're going to open up the Datapacks folder, and we're going to create a new folder specifically for this new Datapack. I'm going to call this one Test Datapacks. I'll open that up, and right now it's empty. We need to add a pack.mc meta file. So we're going to create a new text document. I'm going to name it pack.mc meta. Capital MC meta, and it's going to save it as a text document. We're going to fix that in just a second. Let's open that up. Inside of our pack.mc meta, we need a set of curly brackets like so. I'm going to tab over, and in quotes, I'm going to put in quotes pack with a colon. This is going to be followed by another set of curly brackets like so. And inside these curly brackets, we're going to do another set of quotes, pack underscore format, followed by a colon, and the number 7 if you're using the 1.17 edition. In the last episode, I mentioned that this number will change depending on what version of Minecraft you're using. So in 1.17, we are currently on pack underscore format 7. Underneath that, we're going to go ahead and do a description, followed by a colon and another set of quotes. And inside here, let's go ahead and put test data pack to learn how to create data packs. And we're going to go to file, save as, and instead of saving it as pack.mc meta as a text document, we're going to switch text documents to all files. We're going to delete our previous one, and we're going to save it as a pack.mc meta file instead of a text file. And as you can see, the file type is now MC meta file. Next, let's go ahead and create a new folder, and we're going to call this data. I'll open that up. Inside here, we're going to create a new folder, and this is going to be our namespace for this data pack. So I'm going to name it custom underscore recipes. And now we're going to go back to our data packs folder, right click our data pack and choose open with code. And it's going to open up Visual Studio Code. And you can see that we have test data packs, data, custom underscore recipes. And inside here, go ahead and right click on custom underscore recipes, choose new folder, and go ahead and type in recipes. The first type of recipe I'd like to go over comes from our crafting bench, and it is crafting shape. A crafting shaped recipe takes a specific shape in the crafting menu to create a new item. For example, we have 3 iron ingots in the first column, 1 stick in the middle column in the middle row, and 3 iron ingots in the right-hand column, and that makes 16 rails. If I move this stick somewhere else, this recipe will not work. This means that this recipe has a specific format to follow to create these items. As an example of a crafting shaped recipe, we're going to take 5 gold ingots in the shape of a plus, like so, and 2 emeralds to create a Totem of Undying. Let's go ahead and set up this recipe in our data pack. to get started, we're going to right click recipes, go to new file, and we're going to type in Totem of Undying.json. And if we hit enter, it'll create a new JSON file for us to work in. We're going to start off with a set of curly brackets, and this is going to be the same for all of our recipes. They're going to start off with a set of curly brackets. We're going to put in quotes a type. We're going to type in quotes, type, followed by a colon, followed by crafting underscore shape and a comma. We're going to do another set of quotes underneath, and we're going to put in pattern, followed by a colon, followed by a set of square brackets like so. And inside of this pattern, we're going to put another set of quotes, and we're going to put E, G, E, a comma after the quote, another set of quotes, G, 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 comma, another set of quotes, space, G, space. And this is going to be our pattern for our recipe. Now, what this is going to be, if you remember the recipe that we had in Minecraft, we had emerald, gold ingot, emerald, gold, 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 empty space, gold, empty space to create that Totem of Undying. In fact, let's take a look again, and we can see this is exactly the recipe we had. So emerald, gold, 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 space, gold, space. So that's going to be the pattern for our recipe. After the square bracket, we're going to put another comma. We'll put in quotes, key, and this is going to create a set of curly brackets for us. Inside here, we're going to put another set of quotes. We'll put E with a colon, and a set of curly brackets. We'll put item in quotes and put Minecraft colon emerald in quotes. So this means that the E represents an emerald. So E represents an emerald. We do a comma after this set of curly brackets. We put another set of quotes and put G followed by a colon, a set of curly brackets with quotes item colon, set of quotes Minecraft colon gold underscore ingot, like so. So the G in this pattern represents a gold ingot. After the keys, we'll do a comma. In quotes, we'll put result, and mine autofills to create a result that is just a piece of stone. We're going to change stone to Totem of Undying with the underscores. Now we can save this. We can go into Minecraft. We can do /reload. Now, if we click on the crafting table, we could put in our recipe, and we will get ourselves a Totem of Undying. Now, a really cool thing we can do with our keys is we can make items interchangeable with each other. For example, if I wanted to do either an emerald or a diamond for the eyes for the totem, what I can do is I can surround these curly brackets with square brackets, like so, just like this, and I can add a new item after the first one, like so. I'll put in my diamond. So E will now either represent an emerald or a diamond, and we can have as many of these as we want inside of this key. In fact, if we go back into Minecraft and we do /reload, now if I had 2 diamonds or even just 1 and 1 emerald, we can see that now this recipe is interchangeable with both diamonds and emeralds, or a combination of both. For our result, we can also add a count. We just have to put a comma after the item, put in our count, and choose how many we should get from this. So we'll go back into Minecraft, do /reload, and now we'll see what happens when we put in our recipe. It says 3 Totems of Undying, so if I select them, there we go. We now have 3 Totems of Undying. So we know that E represents either emeralds or diamonds, and G represents gold ingots, but these spaces, what do they represent? If you haven't already figured it out, basically these spaces represent empty spaces inside of our crafting menu. For example, in our recipe for the Totem of Undying, we have 2 spaces on either side of the bottom row. And if we go back here, we see we have 2 spaces on either side of the bottom row in our pattern as well. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, how do we do recipes that don't require it to be in a specific row or don't require it to be in a specific column? For example, bread, the wheat can go in any row as long as they're all lined up like this. And a sword can be made in any column as long as it lines up vertically. So how do we set something up like this? Let's go ahead and create an example where we use 3 amethyst shards to create an amethyst cluster. So to start off, as normal, we'll right-click Recipes, choose New File, and let's go ahead and put in amethyst_cluster.json, and we'll go ahead and start creating our recipe. We'll start off with the curly brackets, followed by the type. In this case, we're still doing crafting_shaped, followed by a comma. Under here, we'll put in our pattern, followed by our square brackets. And instead of doing a 3x3 pattern like we did with the Totem of Undying, so 3 rows, 3 columns, we're just going to do 1 row. And let's go ahead and put SSS for our pattern. We'll put a comma after the square bracket, followed by another set of quotes for our key. We'll put in what that key is supposed to represent. So we'll put in our item, Minecraft, amethyst_shard. And oops, I forgot the E. After the key, we'll go ahead and put our comma, followed by another quote with the word result. And mine autofills automatically, but the result is followed by a colon and a set of curly brackets with an item inside. And we can go ahead and put, instead of stone, amethyst_cluster. And then back in Minecraft, we'll go ahead and put in /reload. And if we open up the crafting menu, we can put our amethyst shards in a row and we can get our amethyst cluster. But if they're in any other pattern, we will not. They have to be in just a singular row, just like that. If, for example, you wanted the recipe to be a vertical line, instead of making 1 row like this, we would make 3 rows of S's like so, and that will be our vertical line. And again, we can test this by doing /reload, going into our crafting menu, and now the vertical one is the way to go to get our amethyst cluster. Now, this can be mixed and matched. It doesn't have to be all 1 row, all 1 column. We can do SS, comma, SS, and that makes a square. We can make it an L shape by removing one of these and putting a space after it, and we get like this L shape. It can be whatever shape we want as long as we're indicating what the pattern is supposed to be. You could use any letter, you could use any number and any symbol as your key for the pattern. So these could all be 1s if we really wanted them to be, and you can just change it right here in the key. I personally am going to leave my pattern as 1 row of SSS. And just like with the totem recipe we did before, we can go ahead and make these interchangeable with other items as well, doing the same exact thing with the square brackets after the key and putting more items inside of that. The next type of recipe I'd like to go over is something called Shapeless Recipes, which basically just indicates that this recipe doesn't need to be in any sort of shape to give the result. As you can see, I can move this blaze powder and ender pearl around, and the result is always the Eye of Ender. What we're going to do for our example is we're going to be able to put a stick and a magma cream to create a blaze rod, and because it's shapeless, we can have it in any order we want and still get that blaze rod. And the setup for these are actually quite simple as well. We'll just right-click Recipes, create a new file, and let's go ahead and name this one blaze_rod.json. And very similarly to the rest of the recipes, we're going to do a set of curly brackets followed by quotes with the type. And this type is going to be crafting_shapeless, comma, and then the ingredients is where the main difference is between crafting shapeless and shape. Ingredients, we'll put in what ingredients go into this recipe. So we'll put in our curly brackets with an item, colon, another set of quotes, and let's go ahead and put in a Minecraft stick. We'll put a comma after this curly bracket, put another set, and we'll put in item, colon, another set of quotes. We'll put in Minecraft, magma_cream. After the square bracket, put a comma, put another set of quotes. We'll put result, and mine will autofill. Let's go ahead and change stone to blaze_rod. And then back in Minecraft, we'll do /reload. We'll head over to our crafting table and we could put in our stick and magma cream. And there we go. We have ourselves a blaze rod. Now, similarly to the crafting shaped recipes, we could also add a count to our shapeless recipe. We just got to do a comma after the item. In quotes, put count. And it defaults to 1, but we could put it as whatever we want. We could do a whole stack of blaze rods if we really wanted to. In fact, let's do that now. We'll reload. I will put in the recipe, and there you go. We get a whole stack of blaze rods from that. And interestingly enough, if you put a higher number than 64, it still gives you that amount. So I have 124 right here, but I can only put down 64 at a time. And just like with the other recipes, if we surround one of these items with square brackets, we can put more items inside of those square brackets to make this item interchangeable. For example, if we wanted this to be either stick or bamboo, we could put in our square bracket, just like so. And then we'll put another item after this one. So after stick, we'll put bamboo. And let's put a comma after the square bracket. We can save that, switch over to Minecraft. In Minecraft, we'll do /reload. And now, if we were to put in a stick, or if we were to put in bamboo, and we were to put in magma cream, you can see either way, we get 124 blaze rods from that. And that's in any order because, as previously mentioned, it is a shapeless recipe. The next thing I want to talk about are groups. Groups are items that will go into the same slot in our recipe book. For example, all the recipes to dye wool are located in one singular slot here, and you can see it changing colors to showcase that we are changing it to a different type of block depending on what recipe we're using. This is because all the recipes to dye wool are all located in a singular group. In our example project, what we're going to do, we're going to make 3 different item recipes that will all be grouped together, where we can combine stone and an item to create an ore block of that same type. So for example, stone and emerald to make an emerald ore block, stone and diamond to make a diamond ore block, and stone and redstone dust to make a redstone ore block. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll create a new file in our recipes folder, and let's call this one emerald ore.json. And let's go ahead and create our shapeless recipe for it. So it's type crafting_shapeless. I'll put in the ingredients, which are as follows. It'll be an item, Minecraft, stone, comma after the curly bracket, another set of curly brackets, item, and in this one, we'll go ahead and put in emerald. After the ingredients, I'll put a comma and we'll put in quotes, result, and we'll put in our item for the result, which is emerald_ore. Now, this isn't going to default to being grouped. What we need to add, and I usually put it right underneath the type, but you can put it anywhere. You can put it underneath type, you can put it underneath the ingredients, or you can put it underneath the result. But I usually put it under type, and I'm going to put in quotes, group, and let's go ahead and give it a group name. I think I'm going to call it ores, followed by a comma. This is going to group it into a slot with the name ores. And in fact, I'm going to copy all this. So I'm going to select all, right click, copy. I'm going to create a new recipe. We'll call this one diamond_ore.json. I'm going to paste that. So it's already crafting shapeless. It already has the ores group. The only thing we need to really change is the ingredients and the result. I'm going to change the emerald to diamond for both of these. And that is our diamond ore recipe. I'm going to do the same thing. New file. Let's do redstone_ore.json. We'll paste that. It's still grouped as ores. The only thing we got to change is emerald to redstone for both of these. We'll save. So all 3 are grouped under ores. So if I go back into Minecraft, I'll do /reload. Now the likelihood is this isn't going to show up for you in your crafting book. This is because to add a recipe to your crafting book, you actually need to use advancements, which is a topic I'm going to get into in the next episode. So if you want to learn how to do that, you should definitely hit that notification bell to get notified when I upload that video. But if you want to do it manually, what you can do is do /recipe give, and then your name, or you can put @a or any of those. And then we're just going to put an asterisk here, and that's going to unlock all of the recipes that we have. So if I right click the crafting book now, you'll see now the ores show up right here, and you can see them changing: redstone, emerald, diamond. If I right click, you can see all those recipes listed. And because they are crafting shapeless, I can put them in any order to get the different ore. Now, before I move on to any of the other recipe types, I would like to go over something called tags. Tags allow us to use interchangeable items for recipes to make a result without us having to do the square brackets in our recipe. Take, for example, this furnace recipe from Minecraft. They use, instead of an item, a tag, and they use Minecraft: stone_crafting_materials, which if we go to that JSON file, you can see what those materials are. We have cobblestone, blackstone, or cobbled deep slate, all of which can be used for crafting a furnace. The example I would like to give for using tags is undying any color wool back into white wool. or I guess you can call it bleaching the wool. So like always, we'll create a new recipe. Let's call this bleached_wool.json, and we'll go ahead and set up our recipe with our curly brackets. We'll give it a type. In this case, I'm going to do crafting_shapeless again. I don't think I'm going to group it, but I will set up the ingredients. And what these ingredients are going to take are a tag with Minecraft:wool, comma, set of curly brackets, and we'll do item Minecraft:white_dye. And then after the square bracket, a comma, we'll do our quotes for the result. And this is going to yield white_wool. Before I go in to test this in-game, what I would like to talk about is tags themselves. Now, these are actually really easy to set up. Minecraft already has a bunch of default tags. In fact, on the left-hand side, you can see all the different tags that they have for recipes. The one we're using today is wool.json, and that contains all of the different colored wool. If we wanted to create our own tag, we'd make a new folder inside custom_recipes named tags. And if we're going to be using that tag for crafting, we're going to put a new folder inside of that tags folder called items, and then we could add in our tag. If, for example, we did that, we would change Minecraft to the name of our namespace. In this case is custom_recipes. But because we're using the standard Minecraft tag for wool, we're just going to use the Minecraft one. Okay, so if we went back into Minecraft and I did /reload and I went to the crafting bench, I could put in red wool and white dye, and you can see we can now bleach the red wool. We could bleach the black wool, bleach the brown wool, and bleach the blue wool. And that about wraps it up for the crafting table. We still have a few more to get through though. These ones are going to be a lot quicker for sure. The crafting table just had a lot to go over. The next recipe type I would like to go over is the Stonecutter, which allows you to put in one item to create one of many other items. For example, the stone can be changed into a chiseled stone brick, or it can be changed into 2 slabs or a single stone brick stair, etc. And what I would like to do for our example project is put in oak planks to get oak stairs. So let's set that up real quick. So as usual, we'll go ahead and create a new recipe. Let's call this oak stairs from stonecutter.json. Just so we know that this is specifically from a stonecutter. We'll go ahead and do our curly brackets as normal, and we'll put in our type. And our type in this case is going to be stone cutting, like so, followed by a comma. And then if we want, we can set the group. I'm going to put an ingredient, and this ingredient is going to be an item, or it can be a tag. And let's go ahead and put in Minecraft:oak_planks. And if we wanted to, we could surround this with the square brackets, put in more items, and that could allow us to alternate between different items to get the same result. Speaking of which, we'll add a comma after this curly bracket. In quotes, we'll put in our result. And in this case, we're just going to leave result. It doesn't have to be put in curly brackets this time. But I'm going to put in Minecraft:oak_stairs. After the result, we're going to do comma, put in quotes, put in a count. And let's go ahead and put in how many stairs we should get from this one block. Just for testing purposes, I'm going to go ahead and put 2. I'll save that and we'll switch over to Minecraft. In Minecraft, I'll go ahead and put in /reload. And if I go up to the stonecutter, I could put in my oak planks, and there we go, oak stairs. And you can see it'll give me 2 oak stairs for that. And in all honesty, that's pretty much it for the stonecutter. I am going to temporarily skip over the smithing table because there is a key difference between the rest of these and the smithing table. I'm going to hop right into furnace, smoker, blast furnace, and campfires. And I am going to say these all together because their recipe is basically the same with the exception of the recipe type changing between all of them. The example I would like to do for these is for the furnace, if I put in red concrete powder, I'll get red stained glass. For the smoker, if I put in blue concrete powder, I can get blue stained glass. For the blast furnace, if I put in green concrete powder, I can get green stained glass. And for both campfires, if I put in white concrete powder, I can get white stained glass. So let's set those up. We'll start off as usual, creating a new recipe file. Let's go ahead and do red_stained_glass_from_furnace.json, just so we know exactly where this is coming from. We'll go ahead and set up our curly brackets, and in quotes, put our type. And in those quotes, we're going to put smelting, because this is for the furnace. So anytime you want a furnace recipe, you're going to use the word smelting for the type. I'm going to put in the ingredient, which in this case, I'm going to use an item. And let's do Minecraft::red_concrete_powder. And like usual, we can surround this with square brackets and make this item interchangeable, or we can use a tag. After the ingredient, we'll do a comma, and we'll put the result, which in this case, I want to be Minecraft red underscore stained underscore glass. We'll do a comma. We can do a cooking time, and this is in ticks. So if you don't know, in Minecraft, 20 ticks equals 1 second. So right now, this is going to take 10 seconds to cook. I'm going to set it to 1 second, just because I would like to showcase that in action. We'll do comma. We'll also be able to do experience and how much experience will yield from smelting red concrete powder to red stained glass. And so let's go ahead and do 100 for the experience. As you probably saw, we could also set up a group. I'm not going to do it in this case as I'm not too worried about it. I'm just going to save it as is. But what I would like to do is I'm going to copy this and I'm going to use it for the next sections as well. So I'm going to right click recipes, do new file, and we're going to do blue underscore stained underscore glass underscore from underscore smoker.json. And this is going to be our smoker recipe. So we'll change the type from smelting to smoking, and we'll change blue to red. And let's go ahead and set this to half a second for the blue stained glass. And we'll do 1000 experience to make the blue stained glass. I'll go and make a new recipe. This one will be green underscore stained underscore glass underscore from underscore blast underscore furnace.json. And I'll paste the recipe from the furnace recipe. I'll change smelting to blasting. I'll change red to green. And let's go ahead and set the cooking time to 40 instead. So it'll take 2 seconds. And I'll also decrease the experience to 50 so we can see that as well. The last recipe we're going to make for these is white underscore stained underscore glass underscore from underscore campfire.json. I'll paste the JSON from the furnace recipe and change smelting to campfire underscore cooking. And I'll change red to white for both of these. And I'll set the cooking time. I'll leave it as 1 second, but experience in this case is going to be unnecessary. For some reason, campfires allow for the experience section. However, they don't actually yield experience. So I'm going to get rid of it entirely. But we'll save these. We'll switch over to Minecraft. I will do /reload and we can test these out. So red concrete powder takes a second to make red stained glass. And let's switch over to survival real quick. I'm at level 17. And now I'm at level 19 because it yielded 100 experience. The smoker is going to be even more because it yields 1000 experience. But we can put that in. And immediately it cooks up in 1 second. I'll take the blue stained glass. I'm at level 19. I'm now at level 31. I'll put the green one in the blast furnace. Takes 2 seconds. We get our green stained glass. So this one only yields 50 experience, so I'm not expecting much. And the last one are the campfires. I'll put the white concrete powder on the campfires and we'll see them pop off into the white stained glass. And this is the same for the soul campfire as well. There's no real difference between them. And there we go. Those are all our cooking recipes. The last recipe type I'd like to go over are the smithing table recipes. Currently, you can just put in your diamond gear and a netherite ingot, and you can get a netherite version of that item. However, what I would like to do is I would like to put in a piston and a slime ball to get a sticky piston. I know we already have the regular crafting recipe for it, but I figured this would be a neat little showcase for this type of recipe. Now, the reason I saved this one for last is because we actually can't do alternating items for the 2 slots we have here. Let me go ahead and show you how this recipe works. We'll go ahead and create a new recipe. We'll call it sticky underscore piston underscore from underscore smithing.json. We'll do our curly brackets and our type. And in this case, our type is going to be smithing, followed by a comma. The base is the first item that goes into the first slot, and that's followed by a colon and curly brackets with our item inside. In this case, I'm going to put piston. We'll do a comma. We'll do another set of quotes with addition, followed by a colon and curly brackets with our item. And this one, I'm going to put a slime underscore ball, and we'll put a comma under those curly brackets, and we'll get our result, followed by a colon, curly brackets, and our item, which is going to be a sticky underscore piston. And we could also add an account. So let's do 3 for an example. We'll save that. And now in Minecraft, we'll do /reload. We'll right click our smithing table, put in our piston, put in our slime ball, and there we go. 3 sticky pistons for us to use. Now, I'm not sure why we can't do alternating items for these, but it's just the case, I guess. I have no idea why. We can, however, use tags, which basically works the same way. We just can't do the square bracket alternating, but a tag will work. You can use any type of wool, in this case with a slime ball, to get a sticky piston, and I already have that set up in Minecraft. If I put in light blue wool and a slime ball, you can see we can still get that same recipe that way. But that pretty much concludes this episode. We went through a lot of different recipe types and how they work, because there's just a ton of information for how we can do these things. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you're interested in learning about advancements in the next video, make sure you subscribe and click on that notification bell to get notified when that video releases. Otherwise, you're going to miss it and not know how to add these recipes that you just added to your crafting book. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next episode. Have a good one.